Paul van Hoeken was a successful banker in Europe before he became an entrepreneur. Moving to Canada in 2010, he worked with many small companies to help raise capital. This ultimately led him to found FrontFundr, an online investment platform that links investors with businesses. He's here today to tell us his story and to talk about a revolution in how companies raise capital. Welcome to Biz One-on-One, Peter Paul.
Thank you, Rennie. It's great to be here.
And the term is known as crowdfunding. But what you're doing with FrontFundr is so much more than crowdfunding.
Absolutely. So, and you refer to it as a revolution. We're basically using the crowdfunding principle, if you like, but we're applying it to truly investing in companies. So what we're doing with FrontFundr is that we enable companies to raise money from essentially anyone they want. So we help companies to expand the capital pool, investors they can approach. And on the other side, we help investors to invest in companies, in small companies that to date they were basically unable to invest in.
To give a simple example, a company that might be raising capital very early on, they've opened it up to their so-called friends and family. They might be raising capital at a valuation of like a $1 million or $2 million, sometimes even less than that. By the time they get to the stage where they're ready to go public and the public gets access to that capital, to that investment opportunity, that company is usually valued much higher,
right.
20 million, 30 million. So those initial investors, if it's successful, have a big, huge upside.
Right.
Now, with upside also comes risk. Is it fair to say that a lot of the companies on FrontFundr are more risky than the companies you'd find on the TSX Venture, for example?
You know, the companies on our platform are typically earlier stage companies. So yes, there is usually more risk associated. There's simply higher levels of uncertainty. These companies, you know, they're still often in a phase of proving the concept. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that the companies, the younger companies, are obviously higher risk. And this is also where we as FrontFundr want to take our responsibility in terms of making sure that investors understand those risks, and especially because we are basically inviting anyone to the table on our platform to invest in these companies. So we have a lot of investors that are first-time investors in private companies. So, and of course, when you see a fancy video and you see all this great stuff that these companies want to do, you know, you want to make sure that investor is excited about that, but he also understand, like, look, there is a flip side. There is a risk associated, and before you invest and put money in, you got to realize that there are also risk associated. So education of investors and also keeping it really as simple as possible and transparent. Those are all kind of principles that we build our platform on. So we want to really keep it as simple as possible so that everyone essentially understands what it is about.
You are actually a fully sanctioned, exempt market dealer and have dealt with all the securities commissions across the country and are fully compliant. Tell us a little bit about that aspect of it.
So, you know, to get where we are today with FrontFundr, it's been a very interesting and a bumpy journey because the challenge here was to bring all the pieces together. So obviously we're gonna build a platform, so the technology. But you're right, because we're dealing with people's money, we're dealing in shares, but debt. We're dealing with securities. We're regulated. So yeah, it's literally started with a discussion with the securities regulator. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to take everything online, and I can do it, and I don't even ask you to change the rules. So that's when it started. And yes, we are operating as a so-called exempt market dealer. So we are registered. We're supervised by all the securities, provincial securities regulators across Canada, and yeah, we got to be fully compliant, and we have to meet requirements with respect to before we can't just put a company on a platform and see what happens. And we do our due diligence on this company because of securities regulations, but also we want to bring vetted companies on our platform. And on the other side, before an investor can make an investment, we need to know a bit more about you than just your name or your email. We need to bit more about your financial situation and et cetera before we actually invest. The good thing is everything is done online.
It's fantastic. It's like the Uber of investing.
It's
I love
totally.
it. It's so exciting for me as an angel investor myself and being involved in angel groups. You see how difficult it is for companies in the early stages to raise capital, particularly in Canada, compared to, for example, in Silicon Valley or in Europe. So it's wildly exciting to me. How's it been going? You've only been in business for like a year, right?
So we've launched our platform just over about 18 months ago. We're getting great traction. We closed 10 deals to date. We raised over $5 million from over 2,000 investors. And just to give you an idea, minimum investment on our platform, $100.
Wow.
And you become a shareholder alongside a founder. Exactly the same investment, same security. But we also attracted investments of over $100,000, and they're all in the same boat. So that's inclusivity, right? That's really opening up. That's why we like to talk about our platform. Is we are democratizing investing in private companies.
So FrontFundr itself went on its own platform. What was the valuation that you offered your shares at?
We raised $750,000 at a 4.1 million valuation. And we're still in the very early days, right? So we're basically saying, look, we're proven. What we've done is we closed the first couple of deals, and we say, look, we've proven the concept. Now it's time to drink our own whiskey and show that we totally believe in our own product. So we brought it online, and indeed invited everyone. And we have companies that raise through our platform. We have investors, anyone that supports what we're doing and likes to see us succeed and take this really big. We invite them to the table to invest in FrontFundr. So we have now investors for $100 that are now a shareholder in the company. They hold the same shares as I do, and the other founders. And so basically we are. Yeah, and we have a whole bunch of new supporters, right? We've got 200 people. Say,
exactly.
Well, they literally have a vested interest to talk about us. Say, hey, check it out. And by the way, I own a piece of the action.
Well, thank you so much for being on Biz One-on-One, Peter Paul.
It was a pleasure.
And best of luck with FrontFundr.
Thanks, Randy.
You think you know The Brick? Sure, everyone knows The Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Wonder lives in you. It's the moments that capture you and make you feel alive, leaving you breathless, wanting more. Feed your imagination, because some things are worth dreaming about, and some things are worth living. Rediscover your wonder.
Shoveling snow in January and February is hard work. That's why there's Eden. Eden, the leader in on-demand cold weather snow removal and warm weather lawn care, makes it easy to request a professional and fully insured contractor to remove your snow right from your smartphone. Eden is designed for busy professionals, people with aging parents or physical limitations, snowbirds, and of course, people who just hate shoveling. Download the Eden app in the iTunes or Google Play Store today and enjoy 15% off your first job by using the promo code EdenTV.
Every time I come in, Chris always follows up with me, always asks me how my service was, if there's anything that they could have done better. He makes me feel really important.
You're not going to get treated better. The work done was awesome, but I thought that the personal touch and the service, Chris was always top-notch.
We've met new employees, and if I go back the next time, they know who we are. Whenever I take our cars in, I feel like I'm someone special. They treat me extremely well.
GeoLyn Mantei has been in the media world for 20 years. Today she runs two successful companies, Moda Partners, a national digital marketing agency, and her passion project, Muddy Stilettos, where she helps other female entrepreneurs make their mark. She's here today to talk about both these companies and how to step out of your comfort zone and into success in the digital world. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, I have to ask you about muddy stilettos. Where did the name come from? I got a few suspicions.
So it's twofold. I love shoes, I love stilettos, and fashion. Both companies actually, Moda as well as fashion in Italian. So I did a spin-off of both. Muddy is kind of, everybody trucks through a little bit of mud in their life. So no matter if you're wearing your stilettos or your kicks or your boots, you're gonna make your mark with the mud that you leave behind in your muddy stilettos. Nowadays, more and more women are stepping up and feeling confident in their entrepreneurial skill sets. And there's a lot of mentorship and a lot of programs, coaching consultings, these online businesses that are seeing great success. I stepped away from that a little bit with the Moda being a corporate. I wanted to build this corporation, and just being an online presence wasn't something I was okay with. I wanted to take over the world. And so the space that I entered, I would say it's been a little bit of a struggle being a female. It's still a little bit more male dominated for sure, because I'm in a tech space. Digital is considered a tech space. So being a leader in more of the tech/educational sector has had its learning opportunities.
Great way to put it. So let's talk about Moda Partners. What do you guys do?
So Moda Partners is a digital marketing firm. So we've transitioned as we've continued to evolve. We've pivoted a little bit. I started in newspapers, and it was CanWest Publications. And then from there, I started my own publications as a new mom. And that saw success, but I was self-employed. I worked for myself, and I worked 80 hours a week, and it was really demanding. As we continued to evolve, the businesses wanted more about digital marketing. Everybody was in that SEO space and that social media management space. So I wanted to learn more about that. And print was, as we know, print is changing, it's shifting. So I continued to learn and evolve, and Quickshot Media transitioned into Moda Partners. And Moda Partners has turned into a boutique national inbound agency.
So what does inbound marketing mean?
It's lead generation. It's attracting customers. It's attracting leads, converting customers, closing them, and then delighting them. So we're utilizing all components of a digital marketing as opposed to a traditional SEO campaign or a social media campaign. We're really starting from a foundation, a strategic standpoint, and developing game plans and complementing the internal strengths of businesses as opposed to just pitching a service-based program.
It used to be so simple. You just put your ad in the paper and
Used
people
to be.
responded,
Yeah.
and that was it. And now there's all this new terminology. You mentioned SEO, meaning search engine optimization. But you also talk about inbound marketing, and it sounds to me like it's kind of a holistic approach. Give me a couple of examples of what you're doing for your clients.
We're not interrupting anymore. The traditional form of media has been interruption. It's putting commercials in front of people. You don't really know what they're looking for, but you're hoping that you're going to attract them. Instead, we get in front of the customers when they're actually looking for something. So if it's looking for that new Honda Civic, or if it's whatever they're searching, and it starts with usually a Google search, we're getting information in front of them. It might be through social media. They're looking for a particular product or service, such as real estate. So we're just doing it definitely on a more holistic approach by naturally attracting people to what they're already looking for.
What are your thoughts on where things are going in terms of video and the internet? Because I notice that if I ask a 15-year-old about something, he doesn't go to Google anymore.
No.
He goes to YouTube.
He does.
Because he doesn't read anymore.
No, he doesn't.
So does that mean that the whole internet is going to be all video based very soon?
Video is a huge component, absolutely. My son is the exact same. He's on and he's learning how to play video games by watching YouTube. And that's why you make various forms of content. So depending on who you're trying to reach and who your audience is, who your customer is, and getting technical, where they are in the buyer's journey is the different form of content you're going to create. So depending on that audience, if it's a younger, we're referring to the automotive again. If it's Susan Soccer Mom, she's probably not going to be on YouTube. It's a little bit a different piece of content. But if it's Teen Taylor, we know we need to have a video in front of him. So it all depends on that strategy, and that's where our entire business model comes from. Is we're building on a strategy. We really need to understand your business, who's your ideal audience, and the content will be created appropriately for them.
So let's get back into the muddy stilettos.
Absolutely.
What are you doing in that world where you're obviously in your 20-year entrepreneurial journey, you've learned a lot, and you want to share it with other just female entrepreneurs?
You know, my personas with Muddy Stilettos are female entrepreneurs. And they don't have to be female entrepreneurs per se, but definitely females to make their mark. And I don't want to portray that building businesses and being entrepreneurs, and if it's building a corporation or it's an independent business like an online coaching and consulting, I'm not going to pretend that it's easy, because it's not. And that's what Muddy Stilettos is. It's real, it's raw, and it talks about my journey from being a teenager, starting in media at 15, 16 years old, and finding that passion for entrepreneurship as a really young mom. And as a newborn, having a newborn and a 2-year-old, telling, I went through ups and downs, and I went through the divorce, and I lost my first company. And now, I've had a couple more companies. They've seen success. All of them have. Finding mentorship. It's the reality of businesses. And there's been a lot of lessons, but there's been a lot of great stories, and that's what Muddy Stilettos is.
How do they find you?
You can search muddystilettos.ca or Google me, GeoLyn Mantei, and it'll all come up. Moda Partners, Muddy Stilettos.
Well, it's been wonderful to have you on Biz One-on-One. Hope to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You think you know The Brick? Sure, everyone knows The Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Wonder lives in you. It's the moments that capture you and make you feel alive, leaving you breathless, wanting more. Feed your imagination, because some things are worth dreaming about, and some things are worth living. Rediscover your one.
Shoveling snow in January and February is hard work. That's why there's Eden. Eden, the leader in on-demand cold weather snow removal and warm weather lawn care, makes it easy to request a professional and fully insured contractor to remove your snow right from your smartphone. Eden is designed for busy professionals, people with aging parents or physical limitations, snowbirds, and of course, people who just hate shoveling. Download the Eden app in the iTunes or Google Play Store today and enjoy 15% off your first job by using the promo code EdenTV.
Peter, who's outside?
That guy? I stole him the chainsaw this morning.
Wayne Tinker is a lawyer by trade. He spent most of his career specializing in public and private financings, mergers, and acquisitions. Wayne is also a lecturer for both the business and legal faculties at the University of Calgary. He left the legal world to pursue various entrepreneurial ventures. Today we're going to find out about his role with Condor Consulting, a leading advisor to small and medium enterprises. Great to have you on Biz One-on-One, Wayne.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Randy. Pleasure to be here.
So, lawyer turned entrepreneur turned business advisor. Tell us how that all unfolded.
Well, it unfolded probably over 20 or 25 years of seeing various sides, all sides, ultimately, of financings, mergers, acquisitions, strategic partnerships and alliances, and I had the opportunity to work with some of the most creative and energetic and successful people in Western Canada, and they
As a lawyer.
Yes, as a lawyer, and also as a director and officer involved in the management and financing of public issuers and stock exchange listed companies, and one of the stories we like to share was the time I spent with Ted Green from the Boston Bruins and Edmonton Oilers, and developing a fitness product from his kitchen sink, literally, in Edmonton. As he was rehabilitating himself to fitness products that were sold through Weider and Reebok and on the cover of Time magazine, and through an experience like that, and I've since sought out others, I've found that my background and that of the people I know, and I rank you among them, have an answer if we ask for help and reach out to the right people and can put together very creative solutions for what looked like business problems to entrepreneurs and existing companies that are trying to transition or get to the next level of development in their business plans.
And like many Western Canadians in general, it all starts with a hockey story, because you played hockey back in Regina, and I think you still play hockey.
I do when I can, yeah. It's been a long time thing with me. Yeah, I had some success and played in a great organization when I was younger, and then another great organization at the University of Saskatchewan. And throughout my career, it seems the affinity for the game and for product development and helping the game stay strong in this country has been a recurring theme in both my professional career and my choice of fitness activity.
Yeah, and those relationships from those bonds that you make as a teammate in university or junior hockey, they seem to continue on through life. In my experience, both as an angel investor and being involved in angel groups, like formal angel groups like the VA Angels in Western Canada, there's a chasm between them just being able to talk to capital. It's as simple as an entrepreneur doesn't know how to present himself properly to his own bank to get money. And it's even more so when you're talking about equity investment.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's challenging, I agree, for most entrepreneurs and product developers or startup companies to understand what their audience is looking for. And so I think the only solution to a lack of experience is get some experience. And what's attracted me to Condor and to opening a Vancouver office for that organization is that we have a network, both in a physical sense with partners in Calgary and Edmonton and Kelowna and Phoenix and now Vancouver, but we have beyond that a virtual network of thousands of people, thousands of successful people that we've met as a group over the years. And when you hear the phrase, we know a guy who knows a guy or gal, that's one of our strengths.
It's a different world than when we were hitting the market, X number of years ago. We won't go into any actual details there. But it used to be you come out of university or you come out of school, you go find a great company to get a job and build your career, work your way up the ranks. It isn't that way anymore for our millennials. A lot of them are starting their own businesses.
And that's the beauty of it. They can start their own businesses and choose where to live first and how to live first. And I'm referring to, I guess, the broad reach of the internet as both a place for improving financial literacy, helping this message get out that there is help. There are people that can help you get to the next level with your business or your idea. The tremendous reach in terms of eyeballs on new products, and essentially you can focus group the world with a crowdfunding campaign, which our partners FrontFundr have their history and their genesis in crowdfunding applications, but also in the ability to attract financial support from all over the world. The securities regulators in this country and others are moving faster than they've ever had to keep good policy and good regulation in line with what the internet and the absolute blizzard of new products and new ideas and great technology that's coming out of Western Canada. Always has, but now it's, I think, getting the audience that it deserves. And so I'm encouraged to be playing a small part in helping capital formation and companies be successful in this part of the world.
Wayne Tinker from Condor, hockey player, lawyer, and now, business advisor, but really you're a friend to the entrepreneur that's a little bit lost when it comes to accessing capital and what they need to do to move their company forward. Great to have you on Biz One-on-One, Wayne.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks for coming.
You bet.
You think you know The Brick? Sure, everyone knows The Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. That's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Wonder lives in you. It's the moments that capture you and make you feel alive, leaving you breathless, wanting more. Feed your imagination, because some things are worth dreaming about, and some things are worth living. Rediscover your wonder.
Want help from someone who cares? PDC Chartered Accountants, the approachable guys who care about you and your business.
You think you know The Brick? Sure, everyone knows The Brick is the place for the guaranteed lowest prices on home furnishings. But do you know how we do it? Buying power, that's how. The Brick has over 200 locations across Canada, with over 7 million square feet of showrooms. That means we buy a lot of stuff from all over the world. And the more we buy, the more you save. The Brick. Saving you more. That's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.